Lance Falcon of Pokemon X Forums, and welcome to the Pokemon X podcast.
I'm Recon Die, and now for someone completely different.
I'm Cabinet, and welcome to the second podcast where we actually have all of us together.
And joining me on my left is Flippy the Puppet. Flippy, how are you? Still inanimate.
Well, I think the first one went off pretty well.
I listened to a whopping 5 minutes of it, but it sounded good.
Glad we have the
Some
team
dumbass
support.
put it on QuickTime.
Well, we're still trying to figure out how
I use a PC, so that works out great for me.
Well, I could listen to it. I had no real choice for it. I mean,
Yeah.
I know, I'm just being a
Well,
dick.
we should, by the time this goes out, we may or may not have it sorted. You'll know when you're listening to it.
yeah, if I can get an MP3 of this file, I can try and upload it more correctly because my version, the conversion from WAV format didn't go so well.
Oh, I'll get on that. Okay, so, well, first thing we're going to discuss, because we didn't really properly discuss it last time, was the comic.
We discussed it properly last time.
Well, we kind of went...
touched upon. It was kind of like, eh.
Yeah, it was. It was like, okay, here's the comic. Now let's talk about... It was... I don't know, me being in the CIA, working out of IKEA. Dave on the forum suggests that we should talk about the...
upcoming story arc and
Yes.
how...
Well, I don't like to give away spoilers. I mean, because then it's
Well-
like, I have no reason to read it now.
Do it without talking about spoilers.
Stuff happens. Pokemon are caught. People walk around.
Do they meet Ash eventually?
I've thought about they're not going to meet Ash and Hoenn. If I were to ever continue the comic to maybe make them go to Johto, it was going to be kind of like a different turf kind of thing where May's on Brendan, where people know Brendan and Brendan knows more about the place, and so she would feel like the stupid one.
Well, we'll actually go on. I was just going to offer up a bit of what we can do, but actually continue with that. I thought you were done. I'm sorry.
Well, and eventually they were going to get to Mount Silver. I think that's where you find Ash or Red.
Yeah.
And they were just gonna, it was gonna be so anticlimactic. They were gonna go in there, and it was just sort of him holding the skeletal remains of a Pikachu.
Beautiful.
Well, since you may not necessarily want to, talk about Pokemon X and therefore, give away stuff for the future, I'm going to take a gander, I'm at it right now, into the suggestions page, the idea and suggestions page of the forum, and let's go over some reasons why certain plots never good.
I try and stay away from that area.
Recon, I want you to include my character. He has a level...
small suggestion. Okay, this suggestion's stupid. Never mind. Hold on. Okay.
For the most part, they're pretty bad. They're just...
We're going to hear that suggestion is stupid comment from Lance a lot during the course of this.
It's not much, but next time Brendan should fight with a Voltorb, he should use Dustox and use Protect. And then Voltorb explodes while Dustox is protecting itself.
What? Okay, he fights against a Voltorb?
And I guess the whole joke, I guess, is that Dustox used Protect and the Voltorb exploded.
Yeah, but, I mean, there's really no warning to that. That would just be kind of like the cliche, oh, that was lucky kind of thing.
I did want to ask, though, now that Dave actually mentioned it in his post, about the mysterious green team. Are they going to be, brought up again? And if...
Oh, of course.
Anytime soon, I think, is...
Well, I shouldn't say this. I'm gonna be giving away sort of a kind of, not really a major plot point, but just some information that people will probably go like, ooh, I understand everything now. That. But, the green team is basically sort of the, I guess if Emerald had thought to make another, team for its color, it would be that team. Team Magma is the red one for Ruby. Team, Aqua is the blue. Is for Sapphire.
So they're from Leaf Green.
No, they're from Emerald. They would be the team that Emerald had.
I was surprised that they didn't like make a new team for that, and it had an interesting.
I like the way they did it though.
Yeah, it was good, but I when I first heard of it, like when I was like 12 at the time, I assumed that they were going to make a new team, but hey.
I like how I came up with my comic before I ever heard of Emerald, and Emerald seems to be following my storyline a little bit.
Okay, so here's another suggestion that I know you get millions of variations of. I'm not reading the post, I'm just saying. I know that I've, just from my time on the forum in the last, how many years this has been? About 6?
Hold on.
The forum's been there as long as the comic.
No, I mean how long I've been attending anyway.
Oh.
I've seen a lot of people
6.
who suggest Brendan
Too
and the gang.
long.
Brendan and the gang should get a new companion. I like this one. It should be a gym leader. Specifically, this person wants you to have Flannery, and it would trigger a love triangle between Brendan and May.
No. Because the 4 is kind of like, I think, the perfect symbiosis you can do. I mean, I kind of feel like I might have ripped it off from the anime because it's, 3 trainers and Pikachu. And sometimes a little friend will join along that, that'll die, I guess, later on.
Monty. Monty.
Well, no, Monty was never one of the companions. It's just like...
But he did.
Okay.
But he did die on the way back to his home planet.
Yes. And it was awesome.
You're welcome, fan base.
I was telling Rick last night about your suggestion, Cabinet, where they're just walking along and all of a sudden a charred Monty falls out of the sky and lands in front of them.
It should be a background gag, I think. Like,
yeah, they don't even notice it. They don't even notice it. It just lands.
There's a ton of background gags that nobody ever notices.
Oh yeah, like the murder. I remember that was the biggest one I ever saw that you had to point out to me, and I had to go back and read it.
Oh, the Azurill that killed its trainer?
Yeah, that was For anyone who's curious about that and doesn't remember that, it was when they were at Foliber Town.
I should
go back and read that.
I should really actually reread it because I haven't really reread it. I've only read the comic once over, and that was like 3 years ago, I'd say.
Well, I normally reread it like twice a year, and I need to do my second one for 2010 or 2011.
Good heavens, look at the time. It's time to reread it.
I read it as often as Recon updates. I remember exactly when I started reading because it was like the Thanksgiving comic, and it was like I remember reading it and it was like the Friday, and I checked back on Monday. Oh, it's going to update. I was like, oh, it didn't. And then I read the FAQ, like most people don't.
Yeah, no one ever reads the FAQ. I still get tons of emails a day. In fact, I have one new email right now. Let's see if it's pertaining to that. No, it's the Twitter that Lance just sent me. Okay.
But yeah, the forums, like they're certainly an interesting place that most people put one post in saying, why don't you do this, or why is there why haven't you updated, basically.
Yeah.
And which kind of leads us on talking about the forums. I know I said we wouldn't really talk about it, but Dravarian26 on the forums submitted a very...
We're on nickname terms with him. We just call him Drav.
Yeah, we're nickname. Very interesting question on the Twitter, which was, Recon, do you want to read it out?
Hold on, let me get back to that. So, need question. I want to know the most interesting banning of users, either in Minecraft or on the forum. Oh, and for that, some of you don't know, we have our own Minecraft server for the comic.
Yeah, but we're not so stupid we'd give it its own section.
No, not at all.
We hate Minecraft.
We don't have a section for it, and me and Lance don't moderate over it, and yeah, but I don't know. Well,
Drumarian is a very popular member of our Minecraft server,
Oh.
and that question was from him.
Yeah.
Drav is awesome. He built that Minger cube, or Minger, however it's
Sponge.
pronounced.
Yeah, there's
Or the sponge.
at the Minecraft convention that I'm going to that if you want I can talk about later. But I thought Drav would actually. I haven't talked to him about it yet. I know he's a little bit jelly that I'm going, but from what I can tell. But they're having a building contest, and I bet Drav would just totally kick fucking ass at that. I just want to throw that out there. Are we allowed to swear?
Yep.
We can bleep it out.
No, I didn't believe about the last one, so we'll
Okay, well,
we'll just
fuck shit.
when we eventually get it on iTunes, we'll just put an explicit mark on it.
Yeah, explicit content. Anyway, so what was the most interesting ban, Recon?
Well, yeah, go on, yeah.
Well, I don't think there's specifically been an interesting person. There's just like a specific type of problem we encounter that we have to ban the person. We have tons of evidence that they've been griefing. They've been going into places, and they always claim, "Oh, it was my brother. Oh, some friend of mine
to
got on my
clarify
account."
for those on the forum who don't play Minecraft, he's talking about the server right now.
Yeah.
Not the.
Yeah, not the forums.
The Minecraft server.
Just
And they're always
clarify.
like, "Oh, it wasn't me. My brother got on, or a friend of mine hacked my account." And we look, and it's like they've been building their house within the amount of time that the griefings took place, which would mean they got on, and then their friend got on, and then their friend, and then they got on again within like 5 minutes. And this hasn't happened about 3 or 4 times,
If not more.
Yeah, and it's just they always use that excuse, and Cadman and I are usually really generous about it. We give them tons of chances to admit they're lying to us, and they still think they can get away with it, even though we've got that program Big Brother, which is kind of crapping out on us every day,
Yeah.
that tells us, oh, this person edited this block at this time, they broke this block, they built a block here, or, usually you can tell if someone's broken into places because they'll break the blocks and replace them. And recently with that, what was his name? The guy we recently banned.
Nick Lund, 20-something.
Yeah, he broke into that thing I made, the wheat processor.
Mm-hmm.
He broke in through the walls. He also stole all of the wool out of the road for some reason.
Yeah.
And then he claimed it was a brother or something.
Well,
So that would you say that was? Well, actually, never mind. I understand what you mean. Never mind.
I wasn't there to actually see if there had been, like his excuses, but I can really tell he's lying because the way the times took place, and since they took place when he was building his little house his inn out of wood, and also
Burn down that inn.
even if he's telling the truth that his brother got on his account, that's still a security risk in itself.
yeah,
Like he does not have the forethought to.
He can be compromised, and ergo more griefing can be had.
exactly.
Yeah, so that excuse is, either way, I think it's
You're
a
fucked.
perma ban.
Go on.
Well, are we still on this subject, or because there was another question that I thought was kind of interesting that Gator just proposed on the server.
Go on.
Gator wants to know for Recon, what was your most hated storyline? Like, what storyline didn't pan out the way you wanted, or you didn't like it when it was done?
I honestly can't think of one like straight off.
Can I answer this for Recon? I believe it would be the storyline where he introduced Monty.
No, because I wasn't actually planning on
United
Monty to be
States of
someone.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell I was thinking when I came up with that joke. It's not really even a joke.
It was just stupid. That's what it was.
I don't know why. I was
That
just.
song was in your head, and you're like, fuck
It was. I think it was because that's about the time that song was popular. Or not popular, but it might have been on the radio because I tend to listen to music while I work on the comic. And I was just like, whatever. And then that song came on, and I was
whatever.
like, oh, United States of whatever,
I don't-
typing it out. And then afterwards, I'm like, shit, I put that in the comic.
I don't care what anybody says. That's a really great song, and
I Well, okay, I guess that resolves that question. I'm just trying to keep things moving along. If I seem like I'm rushing you guys, if I am, let me know.
No, it's okay.
I wanted to actually ask my own question.
I never expected Lance to be like the timekeeper for this. I expected him to be the distraction.
I love listening to podcasts, and I know that they work better if they keep consistent with a topic and there's no awkward silence.
Yeah, which was a bit of a problem with the last one.
So I'm just trying to keep us going. I mean, if that's bugging you, I'll stop.
No, it's fine. I wanted to go.
Recon, what is your age?
I just wanted to go back to the topic of banning and.
Oh, okay.
For a second, I wanted to, like, as you know, I'm the one who more or less runs the server. Recon helps, Recon runs it, but I'm more or less in charge.
Everyone assumes I run it, and they always like they'll ignore Cabinet when he's telling them, it's like, listen, you can't do this, and they'll just be like,
yeah,
and then they'll like listen to me if I say, stop that, you stupid bastard.
I'm not going to name names, but I remember one person who said, it was going on about the map reset, and I was like, oh well, this is it, we have to reset it, we're just having so many problems with the map. And then Recon came online, and he was like, Recon, Cabinet says he's going to restart the map. And he was like, well, yeah, he's the guy who runs it. Oh, okay.
That's his choice. It's his server. It's like, well, what's the problem?
But as I was saying, like...
Being a bitch.
There are two bannings for me that really stood out. First of all, Panda, and second of all, Swagger Body Wash was... without a doubt, the most fun I've ever had after a guy griefed. Because it was just so, like, I'm going to put all these signs up everywhere, and they're going to be clues, and I rob certain kind of things, like not even big things. Like he could go root through people's chests, and to give the full story, what he did was... This
chunk of orange wool is now mine!
No
one will ever know.
What happened was he got really annoyed that he couldn't place signs. So he went in this big... No, sorry, he could place signs, but he couldn't destroy them. So he went this big rampage. He blew up his house, took all the stuff out, put up a load of signs insulting me, and then he went to Downton... And
he was the best guy ever.
What he did was he put up signs saying like, it's a little game and you'll never find the chest. And it turns out it was in my pig that Drav made.
The pig.
It was in the pig.
But it wasn't in the fucking forest like that liar said.
Yeah, but the thing was, he might have had there might be diamonds in the chest. He'd leave them. He'd take some wheat. Why would you do that? But it was so much fun. And then I think, well, we don't really need to go on about Panda since, everybody...
That whole fucking saga, we need to dedicate an entire podcast to that.
Yeah.
That's going to be an hour and a half long story.
For those of you who are waiting for us to get to the Panda saga, we will get... I'll tell you what, that'll be like our...
Christmas special.
Our 10th episode of the podcast. If we make it that far, we'll have a Panda saga episode, okay?
Okay.
We need some kind of ode to Panda song for someone to play on a banjo.
Yeah. So if you want to submit a song on a keyboard or something, feel free to submit a fucking Panda song. Go ahead. Just fucking do it.
Just if just make sure it includes sandwich makers in one way or another. That will be explained later. That's the hook that'll make you want to listen to it in future.
He's probably going to be listening to these podcasts and then
because he's lurking. He's lurking the server. I mean, he's lurking the forum.
He'd be like, excuse me. Cabinet talked about me. Squeak.
Okay, so just to.
Yeah, we'll keep moving. Because we're very.
I have my own question that I'm going to be a dick and ignore the other forum members' questions, and I'm going to ask my question.
Boxers, Lance.
If you had this opportunity...
Same answer every time you ask. Boxers.
Just to...
Come on, question time.
What gave you the idea to, because I'm just looking at the most recent comic page, what gave you the idea to have them use the face masks?
I honestly, like, it came to me, and because I was thinking, because the goggles, I had always had plans that when they got the goggles, they would actually wear them, and you could see that their sprite changed, and they were wearing goggles. But then, as I started getting closer to that, I was thinking, wait, how do they breathe with all that sand? And I was like, crap. And then I was just kind of like thinking, like, maybe if they had some kind of bandana or something. And then I thought, well, May's got a bandana. Maybe she has extras. And a headband. Or it could be a bandana that's tied around like a headband. I'm not sure. But then I was thinking, Brendan probably has an extra one too. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. Why don't I just make them pull their stuff down and tie it around their mouths? That would be so much entertaining.
Like, it does make sense,
it does make sense, and what I really love about that, in that it makes sense, and also just the whole gag itself. When I was a kid and I was playing Emerald, or Sapphire, or Ruby, whichever fucking one it was, because I had all three, I was a dick. I was just like, I actually wondered that. I was wondering how they were breathing in all this sand, and I just assumed that you weren't seeing it, but at least for Brendan, for me, I was a dumbass, and I was like, oh, you can't tie a bandana around your mouth, but I assumed for Brendan that he could just pull his scrunchy thing down over his mouth.
Scrunchy.
So I actually love...
Scrunchy. That makes it so much more hilarious.
It's like...
I would like to believe it's the scrunchy.
Like he's out jogging every day, and he just wears it. That's why they put the running shoes in. Like, he's gonna sweat. Like, he's gonna have the sweatband.
Yeah, I hope he cleaned that thing after they got down from the volcano, because he probably sweated about a gallon and a half.
You should make a gag out of that. Just throwing it out there.
I'll try and do that. Like as they're going through the desert, my headband smells like sweat. It's like, when was the last time you washed it?
just a flashback to when he lived in Johto.
just a flashback to when he bought it.
I don't want to even... I would assume that he found it walking down the street one day, outside like a Pokemon mart, and then he just took it.
He robbed it off like a flea-ridden Poochyena. It's like one of those things that they had with the Mystery Dungeon games. Yeah, I got one of the Mystery Dungeon games, and I never really played it. I played to like half the game, and then I was like, oh, well, never mind.
I was playing the first dungeon, and then I died, or whatever the system is, and then it was like, you need a friend to hook up with Wi-Fi or whatever and come rescue you, or you have to do all that shit over again. And I was like, fuck that, and I stopped playing.
Oh, I hate it. I think there's like actually a code generator to where if
your microphone's giving out some static recon on my end.
I think there's actually a code generator that if you can type in your code and it'll give you the like rescue code as if someone actually did that for you.
Yeah. Well, I don't...
It should be in the game.
Well, you see, at the time, I think I would have had a lot more fun with it if, at the time, my DS would have connected to my internet. My internet had whatever security you had.
Local Wi-Fi or internet, yeah.
Yeah, I think it had
But it was just a process. I'm sorry.
I don't know how it works. It's just the WEP or something. It just wouldn't recognize it, so it wouldn't connect.
Yeah, my DS can't connect to my my MAC, I believe.
Well, if you get a 3DS and it connects, at least does for me.
I don't want a fucking 3DS.
Price?
Oh, never mind. This is going to be up Friday, so I was going to mention the whole thing about if you go on tonight before the time and log on to the eShop, you can get 20 free games for the Ambassador program. But I'm like, no one's going to hear this.
So what we'll say instead is...
For those of you with a TARDIS...
What we'll say is instead was, welcome all ambassadors of the 3DS. You'll get 20 extra games, and you're going to love it. Speaking of which, the Four Swords game, Legend of Zelda Four Swords, is going to be released as a free download sometime next month in September.
Stated in E3, that's like 18 months ago.
Well, yeah, but, it's Nintendo.
I'm just being a dick. I'm asking the server if anyone has any other questions, by the way. There's stuff on the wall, but it's funner if people are, actually asking right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to... You can't assume that the forums are going to be, live.
Well, no, he's asking on the server, as in the Minecraft server.
Oh.
What I wanted to discuss was, Well, like I'm not, as you know, I'm not a big movie person or whatever.
Gator's a stupid fuck. I just want to say that.
What?
Gator asked how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop, and I just want the record to be straight that Gator's a stupid fuck. Go on.
What was I going to say? Damn it. Yeah, I'm not a big movie person, but over the past, when I was in America, I went and seen a good few movies. And one of the movies I saw was Cowboys and Aliens. I'm not sure, Lance, have you seen it?
I haven't seen it, don't spoil.
Okay. I saw it last night.
I thought it was very good, and it's definitely worth the watch.
Yeah, it left a lot of questions in my mind, but I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, like, I don't know, they're leaving it open. I hope they don't...
Does it go to the end of the comic? Without spoilers, does it go to the end of the comic that you're aware of?
I haven't read the comic, so I don't know. I just know it's based off a comic.
Yeah, neither have I. I've never read the comic.
Okay. Because, like, my problem with the Losers movie was that, they tried to sum up the entire fucking series, and, you know, that in, like, a 2-hour movie, and it was terrible.
Well, how can I put it? Speaking of bad movies then, earlier on the week, I saw Wrong Turn, a horror film about what I presume was serial killer hillbillies. I don't know if any of you have seen it.
I think I have, but it's been a while.
It was, I don't know, it was really bad, and I'm not even joking. I don't want, like, as I said, I'm not a movie person, but I knew which people were going to die and when. Like, I picked it off. Like, as soon as I met the people, that person, then you, and you.
I do that in real life. I'm like, I pick out which people die and how. Like, as soon as I meet someone.
Well, hold on. How am I going to die then?
I haven't met you in person. I can't do it. I met Lance in person. He dies. It's self-inflicted, and it involves batteries.
Hey, my genitals can handle a lot of punishment.
Oh, God.
Just ask Caroline. Also known as Admin Lucy New, who never shows up, ever.
She's not even an admin.
Or moderator.
Get her Minecraft and make her come on.
Yeah.
She has Minecraft, she's had Minecraft, and she just does not have free time. I'm trying to talk her into coming over to my house less, so she has more free time to actually do shit with her life.
Hey, I love you, but could you not come over as much?
So wait. Can I just say this? You're trying to get her to come over to your house less, so you can get her to play a game with you online more.
It's a mixture of that, and also I want her to get out with her friends more.
Well, you're not possessive.
I am, but I'm not. Is someone flipping a fucking lighter? Because I keep hearing this clicking sound.
No, sorry, I was trying to take a mini SD out of this thing.
Recon's flipping his switchblade out to show off.
Look.
For all none of our female listeners, Bam, we know. Oh wait, I'm not supposed to say names. Sorry.
I hope she doesn't listen to this.
Bam, we know you're out there, honey. Feel free to drop in for a Q&A.
Right, I would prefer it. I mean, okay, that kind of reminds me.
Go on.
Be careful what you say. We probably shouldn't start any shit here.
No. It's fine for stuff like this. I'm just saying. I'll cut this out.
I'm not going to go into too much detail, but the comic I made a while back where I was talking about how she's sleeping her way down the ladder at Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged.
Oh, right.
She dropped another
wrong.
God.
I will explain to you guys later after. It's a guy you don't really know that much. He's not really involved at Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged.
He was just, but I didn't hear the explanation. So
he's just some guy who he kind of stalks people's girlfriends, like while you know they. I don't want to give away too much, but he's not really like a mover and a shaker. He's just kind of like a guy who.
He's a shaker.
He's a shuffler and a vibrator.
Yeah, but he's this really
not like
he's
that.
This really annoying guy who's got Asperger's, and He's so good.
That's not funny. We
he's-
here at the Pokemon X podcast would like to apologize for Mr. Dye's comments, and if you have any questions or
He's
concerns,
not annoying because he has
please
Asperger's.
please
I'm sure
PM Lance Falcon at whogivesashit@gmail.com.
But it's not. I mean, he has Asperger, and that's what anyone who knows the group.
Can you eat his?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Bridge are going to know who exactly I'm talking about when I say Asperger's.
Hello.
Yep. Awkward silence.
Okay, come on. Stop it.
Is it made of burger?
No.
Okay, well, that awkward silence is a sign that we need to move the fuck on.
Yeah.
So, Sheriff Carter is looking very handsome, Twitter says. Oh, so Drav asked, are you willing to do another Drav question, or should we move on from questions? Or
No. Come on. Yeah, keep questions coming. I can get us told.
Okay, Drav also asked, because I just put out like some messages in the server, like, hey, ask shit if you have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Drav wants to know when, like, if you remember, like, to, like, I guess the first day or whatever, or how long ago, when did you exactly, like, decide to start the comic and why?
Well, this is kind of, I don't know, I think I've discussed this on the wiki or something at one point. Pokemon X, its first incarnation was based off of Yellow. And that had about 25 pages. And it was basically kind of almost similar to the plot of the Pokemon X now. It starts off, the whole Ash wakes up, goes to get his Pokemon, encounters Gary. Gary's an asshole. But the twist was the Pikachu that Professor Oak caught was actually an experiment that escaped from Team Rocket. And it had intelligence and could speak, and it was substantially smarter than Ash. And Ash was a wigger. He talked like he was.
Oh God! Why?
I want to read. Have you still got those comics somewhere?
I don't. I basically when I was making them, I would send them to friends of mine through emails, and I never really kept them.
You should have. Can you not go back through the emails and find
sent
it?
Folder?
No, this was back when I had AOL, and I don't have the account anymore to even check through my sent emails.
Is AOL even still around?
I have no idea. I know they're still a company, but I don't think they do internets anymore, except for AOL and Messenger.
Well, the world will forever be sorry that it didn't get the first ever Ash Wigger sprite comic.
I would have.
There were some funny bits I remember, Pikachu had fought a Pidgey and used Thundershock against it, and it fell down. After the battle, it was still there, and it was all crispy. And as Ash and Pikachu were talking, Rattata comes out of the tall grass.
And what?
Maybe someday we'll see this as a homage in Pokemon X the movie, rated PG-13.
It drags it away, Cabinet.
Oh.
Presumably to eat it.
Well, I would like a sub-story with them becoming the best of friends and then tackling them in the climax of the comic at the very last chapter.
No, because that would be Ash involved in it, and I don't want to do things like that because it's basically tying into the anime in any way. Any mention of Ash will tie it into the anime.
Any mention of Ash will just get Lance up. Another question in the same post from Dave, because we're reusing a lot of questions because next to nobody sent us in any.
Gotta wait till the podcast gets out there more.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
We have this is a question I can answer actually.
I didn't even ask. I didn't even ask the question.
Lance is
I thought you were just going on about. I thought you were just going on about nobody asked us many questions. I didn't know you were segueing into a question. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Dave says that people are gossiping about a Generation 3 remake as successors kind of to Black and White or whatever. But he says, what would we like to see added and subtracted from the game? Dave himself says that he doesn't want the phone, and if
Dave loves that phone.
If I may point out, the phone was my favorite bit of Gold, Silver, and Crystal, and I felt sad when it wasn't included in Ruby and Sapphire, and happy again when it was included in Emerald, because I really like the phone. I love just calling up people and just going like, oh.
It's kind of annoying at points though when they call you.
It's annoying when they call you, but I think if it was executed differently, it could be really fun. Like obviously Pokemon is like, you know, a kid's show. We have to keep in mind at all times that, you know, it's a kid's thing. It can reach levels of epicness, but, you know, at the same time it has to remain, you know, kid friendly. It can't go out for the hardcore audience or anything like that. Well, it can try its damnedest in like Ore, but XD ruined that. But I think that I've been playing. I got a Quake pack or QuakeCon pack on Steam, which came with a shit ton of games, and I'm getting to my point in a sec. I know it's a segue.
He's just throwing that out, and he's just being a little smug about it.
He's like, well, Pokemon's a game and Quake's a game. I thought it would just tie in somehow.
No, I'm getting to it. In the Quake pack, I got Doom 3, and in Doom 3, which is a terrible, terrible game, however, they have all this hidden data shit that you can find if you look for it and you click on it, and it gets added to your PDA. And I think it could be really cool if, for like older fans, if they shoved in like all this background story or something into like little things that you could look for and find, which they kind of started doing. But I think if they did it with the phone, it could be a much bigger thing.
I remember, speaking of which, I remember reading somewhere, like, you know, all that, you know, kind of stuff. I don't know what brought up in my head, but I remember reading, I never actually read it, I just skimmed over it, about a fan fiction where, like, basically which got Pokemon and Fallout and just shoved it together and kind of, like, mishmashed it like that. From what I read, it was bad, but, you know, fan fiction. But it's like it was bad, but you know, it had an interesting concept. If you get like, if it was done right, it could be done well. But it was just now, excuse me while I review fan fiction. But if it just had too many like, oh well, this is Ash, and Ash is like, I remember Ash being like a general who fired a missile or some shit like that, and it was like, if done right, it could be done well, you know.
Well, it's like
this is Ash and his brother John Freeman.
I got into a discussion with some friends that, with someone online. They wanted, he was hoping, this was on Twitter yesterday. I met a brony who was saying how he wished that bronies who write the really epic fan fiction, I guess, that are out there on Equestria Daily or something. He was hoping that maybe they could get jobs or like win a contest to write an episode of My Little Pony. But I think that I think this is relevant just because, you know, it's similar in context. That I think it would be. I don't think that's a good idea because like it's like with Pokemon. I mean, we're older fans of it. It has a huge fan base with people of all ages, but at its core, you know, it's a kid series, and I'm a little sad that it'll never probably be as epic as it seemed to me when I was 10.
Yeah.
And it's just, I think it's really hard for them to insert story elements to make it more like that anymore. So that's why I think the phone really sucks. But I totally believe it could be something really cool. Just the same that, like, if you look into the backstory of certain things in the games, you know, if you really dig deep, you can find some awesome shit in the background. Like, the Raticate dying in Pokemon Blue.
Yeah.
For example. Like, there's some really big shit if you look for it.
How the main character's fathers are never around.
Yeah, stuff like that. Or Professor Oak is fucking your mom. But
that's actually, I think, endorsed by the anime, or at least in the music, because there's that one bit where it's the night before Christmas, the one where, you know, I had you guys listen to it before, where it's the, did you get more wood? Oh, yeah. But there's a bit where Ash is talking about, he's going through the thing, and he's like, with my mom in her stocking and Mr. Mime in his cap, and then he goes, and I think Professor Oak was there, too. Professor Oak was at Ash's house in the middle of the night with Ash's mom and Mr. Mime, but that's probably a whole new genre of something I don't want to get into.
Yeah, but I will get into that. I have actually, if you ever go onto Bulbapedia and look up like the fan pairings, I forget what the actual name on it. It's anyway, they pair every character with everything. Like there's some, and they find something tiny, maybe just one little thing, like maybe one character said hello to the other character, that means they're truly in love and they must be together forever. And it's scary.
Well, welcome to anime.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. People just get too invested into it.
Well, to be fair, that's almost anything that exists ever. Like, how many fucking suggestions, Recon, do you think you've gotten where it's like Brendan and May should kiss or something?
Oh, a ton, and that's like the lighter ones.
No.
Usually I get the crude asshole who's like, they should totally have sex, and you should show it in the comics.
I know that we don't want to. I just need this is just a yes or a no question. Didn't Panda have one of those suggestions, if I remember correctly?
Wasn't he the one that was like that?
We'll get to this on our Panda special, but
I'm just trying to remember the comment. Wasn't the one where it said like May's mom should have sex? No, it's that Professor Burt should have sex with Brendan's mom.
No, that was not Panda. That was a different person.
He suggested something about her boobs, about May's boobs, was what it was. The May's boobs gag back, if I remember correctly.
I'll tell you.
We'll look into this. We'll get our top boob researchers on this, and we will bring it up at a later time.
I know.
Our top
I know exactly what was.
Oh, that he did.
I know exactly what he said. What Panda's suggestion was. It was a Halloween comic where they go to hell, and the devil says, "Oh well, no, you can't come out of hell, but then unless you give me a picture of May's boobs," which was the joke, more or less.
I could have done that, but it wouldn't show anything.
That's just like, I'm a really fucked up human being.
Yes.
I want to get that clear. But when I think something is just deplorable and a terrible idea, I want you to know that that's really fucked up.
But yeah, there's a lot to say. There is so much to say about Panda right now, and we'll get to that at a different date.
We'll get to it, but it's just all the suggestions you've gotten, and
yeah.
I remember it took a year to notice that the censored May disclaimer at the top was gone.
Yeah, a lot of people complained about it.
I remember that made me laugh when I first came to PX. I wasn't like, oh, tits, and I was like, that's funny, because it's funny. Tits.
One of the main suggestions, or not really suggestions, it's more like, okay, I've probably told you guys off of the podcast. Well, I did. Well, this is Lance's first podcast, so I know it's never been on the podcast with him. I don't know if we discussed it last week, but I always get the emails from people who want to become main characters in the comic. They're not satisfied with, can I be like some character who just kind of shows up in the background, or can I be a random trainer who gets fought? They always want to be a main character. They always have level 100 Pokemon that aren't found in Hoenn. Like, I've got 3 Mewtwo's, one of them's gold and has wings and a dragon tail. And also, if you put me in there, and they're always assuming, like, well, I'll get to this in a bit. And it's like, I want to have sex with May. I want to be May's love interest in the thing. And I don't know why I'm doing this in a redneck accent. And then afterwards they're like, thanks for adding me. That's how they end. It's like I've already done it.
Can we discuss the guy Hamish was his name? The guy.
Oh God.
This is great. This happened when I was first really met as got talking to Recon, and what the guy was doing was
hoping.
More or less, if you want to put it that way, he came in. He was like, "Oh well, I want you to add me to the comic, and this is my idea, and blah 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 blah." You go on, Recon.
I honestly, it's been a while. I don't remember the specifics now.
Oh, I remember what we're talking about now.
But
okay.
He wanted me to put him in the comic so he could brag to his friends, and I was like, I'm sorry, I mean, I can put you in as somebody later on in the Battle Tower. And then he was like, well, no, I really just want to be a main character. If you could do it, like, okay, almost like the guy from Office Space, like, if you could just put me as a main character, that would be great. And then it's no, I can't do that.
You should have been like the guy from Bolt and just been like, okay, we're gonna stick a pin in it.
It's just, it's like, no, I can't do that. It wouldn't make sense. People wouldn't get it. Yeah, but if you would just do that, I'll go ahead and send you all the info, and I'll make sprites for my character. And then the next one was like, oh, I can't make sprites. Why don't you just go ahead and make me the sprites? And then it was like, he's like, well, I'd like to do my own comic. Can you make the sprites for that comic for me?
This is my favorite bit coming up right now. Do you want me to say it, or do you want to go on?
Well, I might skip. I'm not sure. You might be remembering something that I probably won't tell. But if I leave it out, you can bring it up. But and then I was like, no, I mean, if you're gonna do a comic, you should really make your own sprites, just so you're putting your heart into it. Because and this is advice I give to everybody, because if you use sprites you find online, like you rip off the people who have their own sprite websites, you don't really understand how comics are supposed to go as far as like pixel placement and color arrangement, and you just kind of
serious business.
Yeah, you don't really put yourself into it, and you don't put the hard work into it. And then he was like, well, if you could still just make me those sprites. And I was like, dude, listen, I can't. I don't have the time for this. And then he kind of flipped out, and he was like, well, fuck you. I'm going to get my own comic, and there's going to be hookers and blackjack. Fuck the blackjack. I'm just I can't. But then he's like, and then I'm gonna contact Nintendo, and I'm gonna tell them to get your comic taken off the internet, and they're gonna endorse my comic, and you'll regret not helping me out. And I was like, wow, this guy's fucked in the head.
Butt fucked.
Oh, that was actually hilarious. I loved that. I'm gonna go like that. That's not even a joke. That's not even an exaggeration. He actually said, "I'm going to go to Nintendo, and they're gonna get rid of your comic and endorse
see him just walk up to Shigeru Miyamoto and just be like, "This fucking guy on the internet." And Sherman's just sitting there like thinking in his head in Japanese, just like, "I have no idea what he's saying."
Well, the thing is, there's a couple of guys at Nintendo of America who read my comic. I don't know if they're like high ups or anything, or just grunt workers. They have Nintendo emails, like the staff emails, and and it's usually just like an email, like maybe once every few months. It's like, hey man, good going. I like the comic, and I'm just kind of like thinking, okay, they know about it, but they're not trying to shut me down. That's a good sign.
And it's fair under parody, but yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to make money off it or anything.
I still would love a book. Even though most of it would just be the battles, I would love a book of PX.
I wish
someday.
I wish I could, not for the profit, but I mean, it'd be nice that I could go to a bookstore and I'd see my book up there, and people buying it.
So what was the question on the FAQ that I feel is relevant to this? Like, are you ever gonna have your kid take over the?
Yeah, like I have children. I don't ever plan on having children.
But someday you're gonna walk into a Barnes and Noble at like the age of 70, and you're gonna see your son's name like written by Recon Dye and painstakingly pixelated by like
Nintendo
Black Ops Dye or something.
Black Ops Dye. I don't ever want children because I really do not want to pass on my DNA, because it's dangerous enough in my hands.
I still want What Would Brendan Do shirts. I don't care if you have a child. I just want my shirt.
Make those. I can't sell them.
Make them, send them to us.
But what was I going on?
Make Bam draw them. Just give her Pocky.
No, she like. No more mention of her, please. I would like far away from my life as possible, even though people still bring like they'll be like, hey, guess what I heard today, and I'm like, I don't want to hear the rumors.
We can have I'm just randomly going through our fan art board. Let's make it fucking Venom Frog doesn't post any pictures, he posts links.
Let me go back to the thing about I did have names picked out if I were to ever have children. And if I had a boy, his name was going to be Ural. His middle name was going to be Gunna.
Oh.
So you're all going to die. Oh. Or initials, you die. Or you gonna die. It would work on so many levels. And if I ever had a daughter, Time, like the seasoning, 2, T-E-A-U, die. Time to die.
And it was just... And then your kids would hate you forever.
I know. But just that first day of class would be epic. It's like, you're all gonna die. You're all gonna die. And then he just stands up and he's like, Yes.
We're
Eventually.
all gonna die.
It's like, what's your name? You're all gonna die. No,
Wait a
really.
minute,
What's your name?
that's a... Wait. Oh, God!
Because when I was in school, my name was pronounced... I live in Oklahoma, a redneck state, and people would be like, Reckon die? Reckon die? Are you Reckon die?
I just want to point something out really quick. I was in my head. I was just like, oh, I should look in the art part of the forum, see if we have anyone who could do a original drawing of Brendan for just hypothetically for a shirt that you could sell and not get sued. And so I was looking at our artists, and why is it that every female member of our board that we ever have is always like in the fan art section? Like they're always an artist.
I don't know. It always happens.
Other than Carol. No, Carol's an artist too. Fuck, damn it.
They never talk to me, so I don't really know. The only the only person, and I hate to bring her up again, the only female fan art I really got was from Bam, and it was just to because she said she wanted to be friends, but it turned out all she wanted was for me to promote her.
Well, yeah, that sadly evolved from that. But I remember Suikun girl. No, not Suikun girl.
Oh, do not bring her up either.
No, that's not who I meant. That's not who I meant.
She was the other person I mentioned in that comic.
What was the name of the girl with all the fucking tildes in her name? She was Ray in Banal's Amazing Pokemon Adventure. I cannot remember her name.
I don't remember that.
But she was a very talented artist. Sad. Oh, shit. Awkward silence. Fuck. So, according to question board... Recon, what is the best way to make a toasted sandwich?
with whatever that sandwich maker that Panda got was.
Well, you see, the best time to make a toasted sandwich is when you're feeling really depressed, because it just cheers you right the hell up.
I make myself toasted sandwiches at work all the time, but we have a grill that we use for meat, and so there's all this steak juice and shit in it, and it tastes like shit if you're just drinking that juice. Don't drink that shit. But
Lance notes from experience.
I'm a caterer. I know what I'm doing. And so, but the aroma in the juice will still somewhat be on the grill, even though it burns up real quick. So what I like to do is that I'll take rolls that are left over from dinner from the wedding we're catering or whatever. I'll put them on the grill on a spot where a steak just was. So a little bit of that. I might press it against the steak real quick or a tenderloin so it gets some juice in it. And then I grill it on the grill. And then maybe I'll get some cheese and throw that on there or something, but it always turns out really good. Actually,
the new Arby's Lance grilled pie with his Lance Falcon.
So, hey, Mr. Dye, what do you think of Lady Gaga?
I don't like her one bit. Ha ha ha! Here's a commercial break.
Hey, kids, you want to get fucked up? Buy cocaine.
Okay, we'll just wait for Cabinet to get back.
Really quick, I just want to finish off the stupid questions in the Minecraft thread, or in the Minecraft server. No one's asking me anymore through text chat. These are off.
Are you destroying these signs as soon as you do that so that we don't ask them again next week?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Okay.
I'm taking them down, and then I'm just going to put them back up blank so people can recycle and just use those ones.
I don't think they can break the signs if you make them, though. They can't.
They can't.
I'm just taking them down after I ask the question anyway. What is more profitable, alpaca farming or ostrich farming, in your opinion?
Huh. I'm guessing ostrich farming because you can actually sell them as for food.
Well,
okay.
I know that certainly. I know that there's a couple of ostrich farms quite near me. So, since there's a few, I presume, I think ostrich farming is a lot more profitable.
This is a question I think Cabinet can field now, but Recon is welcome to. If Irish people didn't exist, would the GFF never happen?
What's the GFF?
I have no fucking idea. GPF. I think it's GPF. The Get
Gastral Prolapse Foundation.
Get Poop Parade.
GPF.
Girlfriend Forever.
I don't know. Was that
Girlfriend Free? It's girlfriend free, like Sonic Chew.
Wait, like who?
I don't know who asked it. Let's just ignore that question.
Maybe it's GPO.
No, it's GFF, I think.
GFF. GF. Hold on.
Get fucked, Federation.
I haven't. No.
There's no logical answer other than that. I don't.
I want to know now. What's the GFF?
If you could please, whoever asked that question, put what the fuck the GFF is
maybe,
on the
maybe
board.
if you don't have enough.
You think it's like
if you don't have enough.
You think it's
go on.
Do you think it's like the GMP OSMF, which is Cadmet's pretty involved in that GMP OSMF? Get me pictures of Spider-Man Foundation.
Yes.
By the way, can I just ask really quick, what the fuck is this? Oh, okay, this is the spawn area. Never mind.
What?
Never mind. I was gonna ask what this little diamond building in the center
That's
of
the cloner. When you die, it reconstitutes your body and downloads your memories into it.
Cool story, bro. Okay. Cabinet, lock the door.
Are you both on Minecraft?
Why did you?
Yeah.
Where was that sign?
There's a button on
It was
the
right
ground.
here.
You can't
It was
lock
right
the
here, but I
door.
took it down.
Someone destroyed
It was
the door out
JCO.
of that place.
It was JCO.
Oh.
JCO, if you have any idea what the GFF or whatever stands for, please post it in the thread because I have no idea what that is.
By the way, I stole your sponges.
Was there any? There wasn't any more questions there, was there?
The Minecraft server. If you want.
What are we looking at on time right now for this recording, Cabinet?
We're just going over an hour now, so we need an hour as in... We're going to need...
We should probably wrap this up in about 10
Yeah,
minutes.
that's what I was about to say, 10 minutes more.
And you can edit out awkward silence and stuff.
Yeah,
like
edit
that.
it up.
Well, I hope everyone... I mean, I'm not saying we're done now. We can end this in like 15 minutes. But, like, I hope everyone enjoyed questions with Recon. Recon, thank you very much for being on your own podcast and coming here to answer these questions.
Yep. Does that mean I can leave now?
Yeah, just go get the fuck out. We don't need you.
You're just here for celebrity status.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm a celebrity.
You...
Yeah, I think you're a celebrity. I have your autograph still.
I remember you wanted me to sign that girl's boobs at one point that day.
Shut up about nausea. That'll day. Anyway, your autograph that you gave me on the paper, right? That's on my wall of shit that's just hitting my wall next to an autograph from the Snafu guys. But
what's that on? What kind of paper? Like, is it just like a
printer paper?
The only thing I really know what is I don't.
That paper.
I thought it was on a flyer or something.
It's not taped down. I had it folded up. It's not taped down very well. So whenever I turn my fan on, which is every night during the summer, that thing just flaps and wakes me up.
I'm glad
I have seen the inside of Lance's room through the magical power of Kinect, and the only thing that sticks out to me is that he's got a poster of Spider-Man on the wall on his wall.
It's Spider-Man 2,
Get
the
me
game.
Get me posters of
And
Spider-Man.
I love that just because it's Spider-Man.
A lot of people are on Twitter saw that picture. I posted a picture of myself, but you could see a part of that.
I was
poster.
the one who pointed that out.
A lot of people are jealous of that poster.
I had a poster of that ages ago, and I threw it out. I had it hanging above my door, which was annoying.
This poster's been hanging up since I first played Spider-Man 2, the game. It's actually because I was a kid and I was, impatient. I didn't want to wait till I had good tape, and it's taped on there with duct tape that's just wadded up behind it.
Oh.
Actually, well,
If I ever take that poster down, it's probably just going to tear right in half.
I think this would be a good topic right now. What was your favorite game of so far in 2011?
Recon or me?
For all of us. Go on.
Okay, Recon, you first, because you're the celebrity.
Portal 2.
Portal 2. Why?
That's valid.
Why?
Yeah.
It's
Why?
Portal 2.
What the fuck? Get out!
It was just a really good game to play. It had a lot of comedy in it, and the co-op was really fun.
Ellen McLean actually just went in to do voice acting for Portal 2 work that we don't know about the other day on Twitter. So we might be getting more maps very soon.
Well, they still haven't released the first bout of them, so...
Well, they released the first bout of them for people who pre-order that mouse.
Oh, of course.
But, Ellen McLean is recording the dialogue, so hopefully they'll be here soon.
Good. Good.
For me, I'll just go next since I'm talking.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cap.
No, go on. I was actually going to say for you to go next.
Portal 2, I'm not going to say that's my favorite game of 2011, because, well, when you say 2011, does it have to be released in 2011, or just my favorite game so far this year to play?
So far this year. As not released yet. We'll do like a thing at the end of the year where we'll...
Okay.
If it's so far this year, then mine's Civilization 1 for the Super Nintendo.
This year, I've just been playing a lot of Halo Reach, and I love that. However, I do want to point out that Portal 2, I had a lot of hype and expectations for it. Portal 2 is probably, I think it's the best game ever. It's not my favorite game ever, but just to clarify, I think it's the best game ever because with Portal 2, I had a lot of hype and expectations for it, and it completely just blew me. It was everything I wanted it to be.
It completely blew you.
It completely blew me, and it was everything I wanted it to be and more. And I honestly think it was the most complete experience I've ever gotten from a game.
Funny. Can you say that? What was the best game ever? So sorry, just say that again.
Portal 2. Portal 2.
That's a funny way of pronouncing Time Splitters, but
Oh, I'm gonna have my robot cat.
That is the. I'll get to this on a later date, but one of the best things about Time Splitters 2 is there's a whole mini game devoted to cat racing. You get a robot cat and you race it around a track.
I'm Cabinet. I'm a dumbass. I can't just buy a cat, throw it in a racetrack. I have to play it.
No. Cats. The thing is, the cats don't like me. I've mentioned this to like everybody when they mention like, oh well, I've got a cat. I was like,
shit. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, but the other people do. So,
It is relevant to the podcast.
yes.
I just realized the Pokemon X podcast has its own section on the forum. Go on.
The cats always hated me. I've got that much of a problem with cats. It's the cats themselves that hate me. I called for a friend one time, and I knocked on the door. They were like, "Oh, I'll be out in a second." So I waited out the front, and above their like front door, they've got this little like roof kind of thing coming over it. So I was just standing underneath that, I was outside, just past it, and the cat was up there, and it jumped onto my head and started clawing me. Just for no reason other than I was there.
Wow.
Yeah.
They don't like
They
you.
don't like me at all. But to finish what I asked, my game of my game of the year so far would have to be the first half of LA Noire.
First half. Hey, Cabinet, why are you lying to me?
What? Oh,
My mom is calling me. 1 sec. I'll be right back. I'm sorry.
Why are you lying to us, Lance?
the best.
Stop hitting down.
I have evidence to suggest that you are not being called by your mother.
The best bit about, like, there is one bit, right, that sorry, the first half of it is really great, and then it has the best storyline to it, and it has the best intrigue, and then it just, after that, just kind of, like, shits all over itself, and just stops being good.
It's like, I hate this character now. I don't want to play the game.
Yeah, like, they give you a reason to hate him, but it's like, it's not a good reason to hate him. Like, it is a good reason to hate him, but you shouldn't have to hate him.
Well, as someone who's been cheated on in, like, a lot of relationships, I do kind of hate him after that he'd cheat on his wife.
I hate that I have to hate him, is my point. Like, if they shouldn't have, I don't think they should have done that. They could have ended it at that point and just said, there you go, and I would have been, okay, that's actually a really good thing. But, nope. Rockstar and LA Noire. Or Bondi Studios or whatever.
Let's wrap this up, because my mom just brought home a pug, so...
Seriously?
Yeah, cliffhanger ending.
How do you prepare those? I mean, do you like potatoes, carrots, or do you boil it?
Okay, yeah, we'll end this. Okay, so...
Cliffhanger ending, dog just showed up.
Just...
It's been really fun doing the podcast with you guys. You guys can keep going, but for me, I'm out, because I gotta go make sure that my cats don't just turn this dog into pulp. It's been really fun. I'm looking forward to doing this with you guys more. I'm gonna back out now.
Alright, see you later.
See you next.
See you later. Cliffhanger ending.
Well, that's interesting.
And that's...
Thanks for listening. Hope this thing has been better than the last one. You'll tune in next week.
All right, see you guys, and may the force be with you.
See you next time.
Always.